that word or that phrase can be overly used as
Here
in
is a clear example of it.
Like
Here is a clear example of it being a policy decision, right? Here, throughout the 90s, it was all reasonable numbers, and then all of a sudden, 2002 in Italy, it just goes through the roof, and then all of a sudden in 2013, it goes back to normal numbers. And that has to have been a policy decision right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you if we went and looked it up, that's when there would have been a change in government.
Also, Italy is a part of the EU, so I would argue that those figures are questionable because the EU has got the Schengen agreement. Therefore, once you're in Europe, you can go to any, or once you're in the EU, you can go to any EU country. It's a borderless sort of system.
Let's see, when did Italy become part of the EU?
During the Maastricht, so 90. No, actually, no. Actually, Italy, I believe.
1993.
Yes, with the sign of Maastricht. But when did Italy become a member of the European Community, ECC, and not the EU? Remember the European Community. Yeah, ECC.
Also
Economic
in 1993. Also in 1993.
I thought it was one of the original EEC members. I thought it was a part of the group of 12.
Giorgia Meloni's political career. Isn't that the current?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Sergio Mattarella served as president from 2015 onwards.
Actually, no, I was correct. Italy was one of the founding 12 members of the European Economic Community in 1958.
So,
what?
yeah.
Yes. Don't conflate the European Union with the European Economic Community. They're technically even though the European Union came from the European Economic Community, you should look at them as the European Economic Community as being predecessor to the European Union.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Well, before them, it was the Illuminati. It was the Illuminati before them, and then from the Freemasons came the Illuminati, and then came the European Union.
Again, there is no sort of legal status for the Illuminati. You could argue the Illuminati is a fictional thing.
Well, no, it's not. It's well documented. It's well documented.
Again, where is their headquarters? Can they go to? Can they hear something from the Illuminati press office?
Yeah,
Mark, you don't need a press office to exist. That's ridiculous.
As an organisation, a press office always works.
Hey, so we're supposed to believe that the conservatives here in the United States is freaking not National Socialists, right? But I want to move on to this next piece because
wait a minute before we move on.
This kind of goes into what we're talking about because we're looking at graphs and everything, and I'm not going to read anything. Okay, I'm just going to say. I
just want to say something.
Conservatives sound for Trump's admin, and they want to push out real ID rollouts. So
okay.
So
this
now
actually goes back to. Okay. This actually goes back to Tony Blair.
Why is there no president of Italy
he has
between
been wanting to push this, to do this for the last 20 plus years now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Blair Foundation. Yeah, the Blair Foundation. Blair has been one of the biggest players in this.
Here we go.
And has been for 20 years. In, I think, what's it, 2006, under the Conservative. No, I've got to remember myself.
He got blocked out.
Yeah. 2006. The UK government was led by Tony Blair. Tony Blair was still in control in 2006, and at that time he created a national ID system, identity card, but because of the lack of uptake.
Okay, he froze out. What was you going to say?
It was actually dropped 6 months, just 6 months after it was implemented. It was completely scrapped 6 months in. And Tony Blair has been wanting to push this concept ever since. And he has been attempting to push this through the Blair Foundation throughout the world.
Yeah. And, that's the thing that I'm trying to make a point of with you guys. Like, don't be fooled when you think that a lot of the shit that's being pushed on you or us here in the United States are freaking actually conservative ideas, because they're not. Okay. State IDs in the first place is a socialist concept. That's what the freaking Nazis had whenever you got off the train.
It's also what the USSR had as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say socialist. I'd say communist.
But no, I'd say extreme socialist. It doesn't have to. You could argue left or right. You could.
But just quickly before we go on, remember how I said this is a policy decision starting in 2002. I looked up who was the prime minister then, and it turns out they just got a new one, or president or whatever, of Italy. And guess what he was into? Open society theory. So open society, a term coined by French Jewish philosopher Henry Bergson, and describes a dynamic system inclined to moral universalism. So yeah, that's where these policies likely came from. And isn't it George Soros that just created the Open Society Foundation as well? And he was also funding a lot of these NGOs that were shuffling immigrants over the border.
A closed system of law. A closed system of law, morality, and religion.
Open society. It's called a closed society, closed system of law, morality, and religion.
That is fucked up.
It's kind of deceptive, isn't it?
Yeah, a closed society of law, morality, and religion. Not an open society. Okay.
Let's see the definition. Karl Popper defined the open society as one in which an individual is confronted with personal decision as opposed to magical or tribal or collectivist society.
Oh, God.
He considered that only democracy provides an institutional mechanism for reform and leadership change without the need for bloodshed, revolution, and coup d'etat.
Oh. And you hear all that freaking woke freaking jargon that you just spilled out there when you was reading that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wonder if this is where the whole democracy paradigm came from. Open Society and Its Enemies was the book that he wrote. He believed that the social sciences had failed to grasp the significance and the nature of fascism and communism because these sciences were based on because these sciences were based on what he saw as faulty epistemology Totalitarianism forced knowledge to become political, which made critical thinking impossible and led to the destruction of knowledge in totalitarian countries. Well, that's partially true.
Well, yeah, that's kind of intense if you know what you're reading right there too. That's potentially dangerous.
I want to read this book,
That's
Open Society and Its Enemy.
That's extremely dangerous.
Agreed.
I like dangerous things.
Yeah, I know you do. You rebel. I'm gonna suggest you to Illuminati because freaking I think you two will get along perfect.
If he's into killing the Illuminati, that sounds good to me.
So mass surveillance. Do you believe that these new freaking real ID cards are going to end up being mass surveillance to where
100%. I mean,
They're going
that's
to be used in
really
the
what
same
it's
way.
designed for.
They're going to be used as in the same way as the Sesame system is used in China.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You bring that into a surveillance grid, which they're also designing. You just got turnkey tyranny mass control system. You just turn off someone's wallet if you don't like them or if they're a political opponent. Easy peasy.
Right.
And it's coming in junction. I don't know if you saw recently one of these. He was the CEO of Nestle saying, "Oh, water shouldn't be a human right. Access to water shouldn't be a human right. It should be commercialized." And at the same time, Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland, and they're killing off all the chickens and the cows for climate change. All of a sudden, you've got corporations owning all the food and all the water and knowing where you are all the time, what you're spending your money on. That is crazy to me that we're actually letting that happen.
And all the farming process in Europe. But I can see you can make an argument that the tide is slowly changing.
Yeah, well, that's why there's a rise in populism, I think, is because people see all these globalist, used to be conspiracy theories that are now coming true, and they're going, well, shit, do we really want to live in a society where we're letting these elites rule over us like we're children or slaves? And a few of us are like standing up to it.
I believe that's being presented that way, but when you take a look at these institutions, like freaking Homeland Security, which is another freaking thing, like freaking the ID thing, Homeland Security freaking was probably the most insulting thing that could have ever freaking happened on American soil when they came out with that department. Okay. And the messed up part is like you were talking about freaking that one dude. I forgot it. Well, he was he was the Kilmar Albrigado Garcia was his name. He's the one that was the El Salvador guy. Okay. And when you go on Homeland Security's freaking webpage, you can check out freaking their April the 14th, 2025 article in the entertainment system thing discussing this. And it is straight up. You would swear you were looking at freaking Nazi Germany's freaking propaganda page right there, dude.
Oh, mainstream media in the US is horrendous for propaganda. It's all propaganda. Like, it's either left-wing propaganda or right-wing propaganda. You can never get straight fucking information out of it.
Let me point this out. This is Homeland Security. Okay, this is a website set up that is supposed to be professional. It's supposed to present facts in a government-like freaking fashion. Okay, and they're throwing garbage up there, dude, from freaking the Washington Post, and all of these far-right freaking individuals that are freaking touting about fucking how, oh, this guy's a fucking member of MS-13, and there's absolutely no evidence that was presented from freaking Donald Trump stating that this dude was actually a member of the gang. And you sit there and you see it all over the media where these people are saying, oh, yeah, it's proven because he had tattoos, and